And we are back from the break. The party has decided to accept the escort mission. So after that, you do see uh, one of the eel ships in the separate dock section being prepared.
Okay.
But they do tell you that it'll be tomorrow before you can, before they'll be ready.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Braxon's gonna go and talk to Lever.
Could you do that a bit later? When Leva is not chewing?
Braxon's gonna talk to Lever. Braxon makes a mental note to talk to Lever later.
Solas, since we most likely have finished our necessary business, Solas gathers a group of adventurous crewmen that are willing to go and test the local brews.
Lafdul's going.
They've already been going in shifts.
Well, on the next shift, then Solas joins them.
Okay.
I mean, Lafdul will definitely be going. I take crew if crew want to come with. If the officers have to keep an eye on their crew.
Have fun, but try not to get stoned.
That joke was already made.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was made in the last half of the adventure. Technically, it's going to be like a running joke when someone listens to both the videos on YouTube.
Funny how the two British people mention that joke, though.
Yeah.
So you, Solas, you head to the tavern, and it is quite busy. Duplicate joke. Can I minus 1 bit? Hungamaron says.
The next bit donation has to be 99, not 100.
Oh, you know what I should do? I should allow people to give bits to take away XP from people. Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
I love the rejection.
No one would get levels anymore.
Braxon
Struggling
deleted
enough,
so
I'm
much
struggling
XP.
enough as is to the Paladin. I don't need any more problems.
Look on the bright side. I
that
lost
was
16,
so
I got
funny,
more hit
James.
points.
So, you, Solas, make your way to the Pick and Mattock, and it's pretty crowded now with people from your ship already there, drinking and eating. You sit down and make your order, and I'm just gonna say it's gonna be a gold piece for whatever you order. I'm not gonna nickel and dime it at this point.
I will order a mug of the local brew.
Okay. And you can also get some food. They have a variety of things available.
I remember a mention of a broth stew or...
Yeah, roast stew.
And a mushroom salad.
And they have some salad, and they have some bread and stuff like that. A lot of fairly standard stuff that you might expect.
I order a roast stew.
Okay. So it's delivered to your table, and you begin to dig in and try everything. The salad is fairly standard, maybe a little bit bland. Heavy on mushrooms, obviously. The stew is thick and tasty. Maybe a bit salty, depending on your taste. It's fairly salty. And you try out the ale that they have. Give me a Constitution check, please.
Oh, goody.
I wonder if it's to retain it.
That's it's under the score, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a success.
All right. By how much?
I think I have 16.
Oh,
I
okay.
was going to say you had the con bonus, so
Yeah, I have
So,
16.
it's the taste isn't too bad, but boy, is it minerally. It is. That is not something you'd be able to drink very much. You're not even sure if you can finish the whole glass,
Well,
the whole mug, I should say.
Solas thinks to himself and that interesting taste, not something that I think I would have too much minerals in my body if I drank more of this.
Seeing your expression, the barmaid comes by and says, I saw how you looked when you had this. Would you prefer Roth milk? It might be the only thing that we have that your kind can drink. Most of the others have started ordering that as well.
Yes, I think I will switch. It was quite interesting taste, though.
Yes, we enjoy it. We enjoy it.
Yes, I can see that if I required more minerals in my body, that would be quite nice.
So, having seen the barmaids picking up and carrying things around, you realize that they're all like, for the fact that they're thin and spindly creatures, like, compared to a dwarf, they look almost emaciated, except for the fact that they don't actually look emaciated. Like, they're not just skin and bones; they're just wiry. Um, they're strong. She's lifting things that with a lot more ease than you were expecting, and you're up a lot closer. You can see that her flesh looks quite like hard, firm.
Well, in Solas's case, it's basically that everyone lifts things with quite a lot of more ease than he would expect.
That's true. That is true. That said, there's a passing thought that goes through your head of, it would be interesting to see Braxon or Ockar try to arm wrestle one of them.
Yeah, Solas is thinking about that.
But she does return with your milk, and it is fine. It goes fine with your meal.
Since she was had such a good service, Solas will tip her with silver piece.
Okay. All right. So after your meal, I mean, if you want to try to mingle, there are some pecks chatting up, especially the dwarves in your group. But if you want to
Solas is
ask any
Solas is going
questions,
to
you can
be
do so.
Solas is quite social. He is going to be mingling with the crew and the locals. Nothing really specific, just basic rumors of what is going on the sphere and such.
Okay. All right. Anything that you want to ask about specifically, or just trying to, make small talk, be social?
The current news, basically.
They really don't have any. Like,
Well,
most of their news is about mines that have been opened up recently, that kind of thing. The dwarves and the pecks are speaking about mining-related things.
Well, Solas listens and occasionally chimes in with some how should I say, from his family background, that is traders, basically some things about trading, how good trade those minerals and gems must be, and things like that.
Okay. All right. And when you're done, when you've had your fill and had your time chatting, you return to the ship.
There is
Yes, and,
something.
Try to talk Braxon or Ockar going with him tomorrow before we leave.
While Solas is gone, I want to do something.
Okay.
Because Solas has vacated his room and left it unguarded, so to speak. So Lafdul's going to enter into Solas's room. If he can. If he can't, then he'll use his granted power of knock to bypass the priest lock. Or mage lock.
Okay. It might not go well for you.
I don't know this, so he's just going in. He's going to find out what happens.
I hope he's got a big trap. Let's find.
What have you trapped it with?
Well, the door is warded with that. If anyone tries to open it with without properly opening, it's going to be shocking.
There's a glyph of warding, is it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Lafdul might have tried to find traps, but
I don't think you said you was finding traps. I think you said.
Yeah, you said you were just going in.
All right, no, I'm going in. I'm
You
going to
didn't
go
look
in.
trapped at all.
I'm going in. I'm getting zapped.
Okay.
Is
So
it against all or no?
real fast, Solas. Whisper to me what the what you set up as the condition for people passing in.
Because I set mine for evil
I need to
people.
check my notes.
Okay.
Quick question, Ald.
Mm-hmm.
Do the players get XP if they kill each other?
No.
Well, I won't die from this, but you know.
Sorry, I was just trolling.
XP for Zamfir when I killed the entire party.
I mean, you killed a lot of enemies too. That's what you got the
but-
XP for.
Yeah, Zamfir did very well.
Okay.
I mean, if you happen to kill party members while also killing enemies, it doesn't increase the XP. It doesn't decrease the XP either, unless you were really intentional in doing that and it caused an alignment shift. Also, you might as well roll a saving throw versus spell, Lafdul.
Take it, my armor.
Your armor does help. Armor helps against area of effect attack spells.
Is it higher bow or lower bow? Highest bow.
Yeah, it's a saving throw.
I keep forgetting that's the way I wrote. Oh, I failed. Full damage for me. Not fast. I'll just regenerate. I'll just start out a lot. So what I may end up doing to Solas's room might slightly more spiteful.
You're
Even
the
though he's
one going
justified,
into his
I know,
room.
but I've been shot.
You decided to invade his privacy, and now you're going to take it out on
I
him.
didn't realize we were trapping against anyone entering our rooms now.
Well, that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm waiting for Solas to.
I put it in Discord.
Ah, okay. Let me see.
Ald, can I redeem a critical fumble for
already
trying
failed.
to get in the room?
What? I can't.
He already, yeah, he already failed.
Oh, okay.
So.
I
Sorry.
failed my saving throw. I mean, you might be able to critical fumble what I'm going to do to his room. I mean, it'll just not be what I expect. I don't know if it would work.
Okay. I am going to be a little bit public about this, Solas. Who would you have told the phrase to, and why was Lafdul not included in this?
Solas hasn't actually told the phrase to anyone.
Okay.
Oh, so no one can go in your room even in an emergency.
All right, fair enough.
I
All right.
mean, the offer's no mine.
So Solas,
Because
go
I
ahead
changed it
and
recently.
roll 64.
Okay.
Not that Lever knows this, but because Lever's been going in and out of my room, and I've told Alder this, but I changed my
Nah.
glyph of warding to specifically go off when a female elf goes in my room.
Isn't that where did you put that glyph?
Well, actually, no, it's when
Well,
you go
it's
through the door, I think. No, I can put it
low
inside.
zap.
So
That's
11
fine.
points
I
of
took
damage. 11 points of damage.
I'll regenerate at some point.
It's an old ward. I haven't replaced the wards with a higher level ward, so
It's an older ward, but it checks out.
Yeah. So the only thing Lafdul was going to do is just rearrange some books around in his room. Put them out of order. That's all he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So he
And now
does that.
And now it's gonna change because you got
You-
zapped?
Oh,
You
he's
should-
gonna know. He's gonna know that someone's
Yeah,
arranged
but
it just by
you
coming
shouldn't-
back.
You shouldn't have said that. You should have just whispered it to all.
Whispered what I told.
What?
No,
that you
because the
rearranged
reason
the
why
books.
I'm saying these things because I want everyone to hear, but I want people to not react to what they don't know because we do this a lot. So
All right, so you rearrange the books on his shelf.
yeah,
Okay.
he leaves the room.
All right.
I would have kept the door open, knowing that if it was locked, I would have jammed the door or something. You know, book stopped.
It was a very shocking little venture that you took.
Yeah, that hurt a little.
Mhm.
If only I memorized glyph warding, I could put one back on the door.
So Solas, you get back and you wanted to talk to Braxon and Ockar.
yeah, about going with me tomorrow morning before we leave
Or
in the
what?
tavern.
I guess?
Yeah, we should toast the ship.
Hmm.
You're a bit quiet, by the way, James.
Basically, Solas is just wanting to have some good time with you two.
Okay,
Don't see why not.
it's been a while since we've done anything like this.
All right. So Solas, after getting their agreement, you return to your room. Lafdul, did you leave the door open when you left, or just while you were in there?
No, I would have closed it.
So Solas, you immediately realize that the glyph of warding is no longer in place,
Mhm.
and carefully, I assume you would carefully open the door and look inside.
Yeah.
And you notice that the books on your shelf, like immediately, that's very first thing that you notice. They've
It
been
would be first
rearranged.
thing,
Some of them are upside down. Some of them are backwards. They've certainly gotten out of order.
Solas sighs and makes mental note to speak with Lafdul.
I mean, you can go speak to him
That's-
right now if you wanted.
Well, he has to rearrange the books in the correct order before.
You could always invite him to the pub.
And after he has done that, he will go to Lafdul's room and see if he's there.
Yeah, Laughter will probably be in his room.
All right.
Solas asks Lafdul, "Did you go to my room?
Yes,
Why?"
because it was fun. It
I
hurt, but it
see.
was fun.
Yeah, you definitely see him looking a little shocked.
Depending on how long it would have been, because I would have regenerated that.
It was not almost 2 hours.
Right.
Well, I hope I hope it was worth it.
Oh yeah, it was definitely worth it.
And as we are talking about, Solas begins to cast web.
Can I cast Dispel Magic to dispel that?
Yeah, both of you roll initiative with casting times.
I think the spell's pretty slow for a priest, anyways. Well,
Nah.
All right, so 7 for Solas.
pretty good for you.
Mm-hmm. Well, web is
I think you're gonna beat me. Oh, I might. Oh wow.
equal.
Okay, these both happen at the same time. So because they're happening at the same time, the spell does get off. Instantly, webbing starts filling up Lafdul's room, wrapping around him. But at the exact same time, the dispel is going off. Go ahead and roll the dispel check, Lafdul.
Oh yeah. I got
I,
rolled
of course, was tactically outside of the room.
Yeah, oh no, of course. And I figured that you would just be filling up his room.
Mm-hmm.
The worst, I think. I need higher to beat him, don't I?
Yeah, I believe so. Oh man. So Lafdul, your dispel goes off and has no effect on the webbing.
He beat me. A few seconds. I am webbed.
Well, you still could have dispelled the actual webbing itself, but you know.
It was just a
You
general
probably
dispel.
deserve this, Lafdul.
Oh,
So-
it's fun in games. I love it.
This is when we spend the next few hours going, has anyone seen Lafdul?
And
Oh.
Af-
Oh no, sorry, I misread something. Never mind.
and after Lafdul is stuck in the web, Solas says, "You should stick around and think what you've done." And leaves.
There's definitely gonna be some. I wouldn't leave your room so unguarded. I'm just wondering if he'll go.
I mean, the thing though is that Lafdul, your door opens into your room. The webbing is filling up your room. You're stuck there in
Yeah.
the doorway, webbed
Oh,
up.
everyone's gonna see me.
Crew walking by, and crew member comes by and like, sir, are you okay?
Yes.
Is there an infestation we don't know about?
You could say it's an experiment gone a little awry. It should wear off after a while.
Ockar walks by while drinking a bottle of ale, looks at Lafdul, shakes his head, keeps walking.
How long's the web last?
2 turns per level, so 18 turns.
God, 3 hours. Jesus Christ.
And then Lafdul's nose starts itching. And he can't scratch it because he's stuck.
I can make a strength check to get out the web, I think.
Yeah, but you're a rogue. Your strength is notoriously pretty low.
Wow, my strength is a 14.
Yes.
It's not that much worse than yours. It's like 2 worse, I think. 3? Was it 2 or 3? I
Yeah,
can't
so
remember
the difference
something.
is that I actually get a strength bonus to my attack rolls.
Yeah, you can try to break out of the web.
I shall. What do I write? It's a Brenbar break lift or what? I don't know what the web is.
I think you don't need to roll. You just
Walk out
can
eventually.
break through with
As
specific rate.
actually, can I reach my flaming dagger? Before people start jumping to conclusions, you can cut the web with a flaming dagger without setting the entire thing on fire.
That is correct. Hold on a second.
So
Let me check web. Hold on a second. Not about that. I'm checking about getting out of it.
You going on to Google to check
Oh,
the web?
you should have also gotten a saving throw versus spell with a -2 penalty as well. Lafdul.
Seems a bit too late for that.
Yeah,
Nah, we'll let you roll.
Oh, I need to roll again though.
Remember, you might want to roll twice.
What? No, I'm not. I'm not wasting a reroll on this. Shenanigans. It's just fun. 1d20 -2. My armor counter this or not? It's
No.
just. Oh, that was a 1 again. I've completely failed that one.
No, you are well and truly stuck. You can, Alright, so creatures with strength between 13 and 17 can break through 1 foot of webs per round. So I would say it's gonna take you, at least 5 minutes to break out.
Right.
And your room is filled with web.
Yeah.
I am casting Animate Statue on my golem as air.
Alright.
One to clear out some of the web, but obviously to... Can he... I've never thought about this until now. Actually, this might be retcon, so I don't know if I can do this. Can my golem maneuver throughout the ship? Because obviously if I got it into my cabin, that's like one of the small rooms of the ship.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking.
Can my animated statue move throughout the ship unhindered? There's nowhere it can't go.
It cannot climb ladders. It can walk and...
Yeah, but it can get to the library, for example.
Yes, but it will have trouble getting through... Like, it would need help getting through the gravity plane change.
How difficult would that be?
You would need to help it.
All right, I will help it.
Well, it's in your room right now.
No, but I will animate it.
Okay.
Basically, I'm going to use it as a giant doorstop in front of Solas's room.
Hold on a second. I need to... Does that list any sort of strength or anything like that? I don't think it does. I think web is going to be pretty effective against an animated statue. Yeah.
Oh, well, Lafdul's going to learn the hard way.
At least yours. I mean, it's not that...
It's a 4-hit die creature.
Yeah, it is, but it's not...
I don't know what, but...
Hold on a second.
It's a spell that I didn't think I'd have to look up what the strength for. Oh, wasn't it great fun when Lafdul segues the adventure?
Range is touch as well.
Oh. Well, I would... Once I'm free, I could just get my way back to the golem, but...
Yeah, at 1 foot per round.
Well, no, I got a flaming dagger. I can cut my way through.
Alright.
Specifically not setting fire to it.
Yeah.
The last thing I want to do is torch my room.
I mean, that seems kind of fun. Alright, so, yeah, so having cut your way through, you're able to get to the statue, cast Animate Statue, and move it.
Yeah, I was going to use it as a giant doorstop outside Solas's room eventually.
So, Solas, did you return to your quarters after casting web on Lafdul?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or a library, more likely.
I need to know which one you're in. Library or your
went to
quarters?
library.
Okay.
Can
So...
you say you were going out drinking?
No, he was going to do that tomorrow.
Oh.
The next day. So, Lafdul, you and your animated statue. Now, you're casting this from a spell, not from, like, a memorized spell.
Yeah,
right?
I had it memorized.
Okay. So you clomp your way through the ship, your crew giving you a wide berth, and you get it up to the library, and you see Solas in there reading through some esoteric materials on magic.
So Lafdul's going to start casting Hold Person on Solas. He's just having fun.
All right. Okay. Solas, give me a saving throw. -2, I believe, since he's the only one being affected.
I believe so.
Wisdom doesn't apply.
I don't know if it's. I think it's.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's -2.
Alright. That's a success.
Oh, I didn't freeze. Yeah. Seems that all my spells are failing against this guy. Oh, I just realized I would have had a +2 on the saving throw against Solas because he's lawful.
Oh.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because you rolled a 1. A 1 is always a failure.
Yeah.
Solas, you still want to continue this?
It never ends.
Solas just shakes his head.
Lafdul's gonna get the golem to gently nudge Solas. It's not actually trying to hurt him.
I mean, I don't know that this thing really knows gentle.
Alright, I suppose.
I mean, it's not going to...
He's just going to tell it to...
Right. You can prevent it from doing damage, but it's not exactly gentle.
Alright, no, I just get the golem to be in front of the door and do nothing else.
Solas cast Dispel Magic on the statue.
Alright, it's just going to be stuck there.
Alright, give me the d20.
When he notices the statue.
You're both level 8. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, Lafdul, you see your statue stop moving entirely.
Well, it seems the gods favour you today.
Perhaps they feel that my cause is just.
Apparently so. Oh, I just have to come up with some more fun spells.
So you're gonna carefully, slowly carry your big heavy statue back to your quarters now?
I don't even know if I could. Could I?
You can drag it.
I didn't realise it could be moved by a person. I thought it only could be moved if it was animated.
No, I'm pretty sure.
It's like a 7-foot tall statue.
I'm pretty sure you can get it.
It's like a wooden mannequin.
Yeah.
It's like Lafdul's like wobbling it, I guess.
So Solas walks next to Lafdul, chuckling and joking.
Oh, there's always tomorrow, Solas.
That there is. More shocking surprises.
Oh, I enjoy these games, though.
And Solas, after returning with Lafdul to his quarters, making fun of Lafdul through the journey, decides to stop by Leva and ask her about joining the fun.
That's not fair.
What fun?
Solas basically tells what has happened with Lafdul.
I think she might have heard if she was in the library or her room.
Okay. And
Basically Solas implies that Lafdul has clearly indicated that he likes to be pranked like this.
okay.
I mean,
So
Leva
you
would definitely
want-
have heard the clomping of the statue entering the library.
She,
You would have heard spells being cast as well.
yeah, she probably, in fact, she would have come to watch. Knowing Leva, she probably would have come to watch. But it's quite fun to watch the two others do it. She does her thing in her own time.
Oh, Solas isn't expecting anything.
All right,
That was it. I'm not going to do anything else.
that's it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So Lafdul, you head to bed then.
I guess.
Okay.
Clear enough web to get to bed.
Well, I mean, 3 hours. You know, you can. Do you have another dispel magic? Well, you could try dispelling the webs again.
Oh,
Actually,
the webs are still there. I wouldn't be good sleep until they wear off.
Actually, Solas is kind enough that he dispels the web with dispel magic himself when he and Lafdul gets to Lafdul's quarters.
How many dispel magics did you memorize?
2.
Leva
Oh.
would have one otherwise, if you really needed one.
Well, Solas can always dispel his own magic, so
Okay.
Yeah.
it's automatic. All right, so Solas
and,
dispels the web.
Yeah, and before leaving, he pats Lafdul on the back and says, "It was a good try."
Okay.
Oh,
But better man won.
today. The war's not over.
Oh, war now, huh? All right, so Lafdul, you head to sleep.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So the next morning, Lafdul, you wake up and you find yourself staring up at the ceiling. There's something else above you. You shift your eyes a little bit back. Sitting there on the headboard of your bed is a crow. Squawks at you.
Crow. Someone summoned. Do I know if it's real or do I know if it's Finn?
It looks pretty real.
I it's too early for this, Finn. I assume it's Finn. I don't know who else it is.
It squawks at you again.
I'm very confused.
I mean, I can understand waking up to having a crow on your headboard squawking at you.
Well, this didn't peck my eyes out when I was sleeping.
It flies around the room a bit, making a lot of noise as it does so.
Alright, I'll get my ring of telekinesis on and I'll see if I can wrestle it out of the air.
Alright, give me an attack roll.
My base facu is 13.
Is it?
Oh, wait. Base facu.
Yeah.
15.
Okay.
Yeah, 15.
Alright,
Hang
that
on,
is
plus
going to
2.
be good enough to grab this crow with your telekinesis.
I just ring it towards me so I can grapple it, hold it.
Do you have the ring back?
Yeah, I said I would get my ring back.
Okay.
I would have waited until we were leaving to go onto the ship and I would have got it back then.
Yeah, I mean you made it very clear that it was temporary, so.
And does it feel like a real crow?
Are you bringing it all the way close to you to touch it?
I see if yeah, well, yeah, I do.
All right. So as you bring it close to you and you're reaching out to touch it, it does suddenly change form to be Finn, and your ring cannot hold that much weight.
Actually, I don't know.
Your ring cannot hold
No,
that much weight.
it's
like
50 pounds.
Yeah, it's 50
Yeah.
pounds. Finn is not that light. No offense,
not
Finn.
right.
No offense, Finn. I think if you were that light, you'd have some serious medical problems.
Yeah.
But that surprises you a bit, Lafdul. And he falls on you, and the two of you tumble to the ground. To the deck.
Well, it was either you or it was Solas conjuring up a crow. I don't know how he would have done that.
Could have been Leva with an illusionary crow.
Yeah.
Or polymorph.
People sneaking
polymorph.
into my room now. Lafdul looks at the underside of the door, see if there's a little gap that something small could have crawled through.
So, Finn, you can answer how you want now.
Then I'll just get up, open the door, and leave.
Not even,
Without saying any
not
words.
even a conversation. Ah. Lafdul shivers like he's been creeped out. He's watching me as I slept. Mm.
Over his shoulder on the way out the door. I heard you like crows.
Yeah, I had an experience with a crow.
You should be glad he didn't lick you.
I've never seen a crow lick. I've seen a budgie do it.
They do have tongues. I don't know how
Yeah,
well they can lick.
I know.
But as the rest of you are getting ready for the day, the Pex will come and inform you that it'll just be a matter of hours before their ship is ready. They will wonder whether you how you want to perform the escort, because you can't both move at spelljamming speed together. So one of you has to lead, one of you has to follow.
What size is their ship?
It's an eel
Can we
ship.
not tow it?
It's an eel ship. 20
Tow it?
tons.
Is it small enough for us to tow it?
Yeah, we could tow
You
it.
could tow it. You would have
Yeah,
to
we'll
cut
tow
it
it.
loose when if you got into a situation.
That way
Yeah.
they don't ever get lost and there's no risk to them.
Okay. They will basically say that they had not thought of that,
And that way
they're
they
fine
can
with
be on our safety of our ship.
that. Okay. They'll still be on their ship,
Well, yeah.
but
Yeah.
it would still be pretty easy to get back and forth if you needed to talk to them or anything
So
like that.
basically, if we encounter anything, we can cut them loose, or they can cut themselves loose, or slip it rather than cut it.
During the day, I would have mentioned, can we, either of you, was do an identification? I'll hand out one pearl. We got some items to identify, so.
Do you want to do that on the start of the trip, or do you want to do that before leaving?
It could be throughout, whenever it's convenient for them, I guess.
Because you did kind of cause some commotion with them during the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's just some harmless fun. I'm still going to ask.
All right, so it's probably best to do it as you're underway then.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the morning before we leave, Solas goes to the tavern with Braxon and Ockar.
Okay.
And tries to goad them to hand wrestle some pegs.
By the way, strengths on Ockar. Leva looks at Braxon and goes, "This."
All right. So
Leva-
go ahead and
Braxon gives Lever a funny look.
Ockar, go ahead and give me 1d8.
Did I know about this the day before?
I think you
were
were
kind of-
no. I don't think you were pretty
No,
busy.
If I don't know, I don't know.
No,
I don't know if he invited you.
no, he did not.
Yeah, no.
He did not,
No,
and
that's,
I don't.
That's fine. That's fine.
No one said anything about telling you so. Ockar, 1d8, please.
Okay. Just give me a second.
I can barely hear you, you know.
I don't know why.
You just need to speak up about it.
Might need to move your microphone closer to your mouth.
How's that?
Okay. So Ockar, you are 1850.
Okay.
Also, Solas, after refreshing his spells, he will create a new glyph of warding on his door.
All right. What's the casting time on that?
A turn, isn't it?
I need to check.
10 minutes.
Casting time of glyph of warding is special.
Special.
Every 5 feet is square 1 round.
Oh, then yeah,
Couple of rounds.
it's real fast.
Yeah.
Just put it on a doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted to
I
make
will
sure
give
that
the
wasn't
details.
going to interfere with you guys
Yeah.
going to the tavern.
And it's even more powerful glyph of warding since it's from 8th level character.
Oh, no.
Okay. So the three of you head to the Pick and Maddock Tavern, and
Solas orders breakfast for the three of us.
okay. Breakfast primarily consists of some toasted bread and more stew.
Mm-hmm. And roast milk.
Yes.
Solas does mention that the local brew was interesting, but a bit too mineral rich for our health.
Right. Thanks for the heads up.
Fair enough. I'm not sure how well you would have handled some of the drinking games I'm quite used to.
But the roast milk is good.
So, Solas, you're trying to goad them into arm wrestling someone?
Yeah. Arm wrestle some pecs.
Especially, I don't think Solas would do well with the drowning competitions.
Want us to arm wrestle pecs?
Mm-hmm.
They're creatures that come out of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I'll give it a shot.
All right, so Ockar's open to doing some arm wrestling. You find
Solas
a...
asks, Solas asks around if there's any pecs willing to arm wrestle this giant Nord of a man.
All right. One of the pecs, who is half the height of Ockar, agrees. Sure, I'll give it a try. Your kind do tend to not be quite as strong as us, despite our size. I'll give it a try. So he sits down across from you, Ockar, and puts out his arm ready to arm wrestle with you.
Okay.
His hand is a fair bit. It's at least 10% bigger than yours.
That's fine.
All right. So go ahead and give me a strength check, D20, please.
That's a pass.
It is. He passed as well. He got closer to his score, though. So the two of you struggle for quite a bit, and Ockar, you find yourself with the magical enhancement that you got from Leva. You feel fairly evenly matched, but slowly, he gets your arm down. And there's been some betting going on as this was happening. You had some crew here. There were some other pecs, and they were exchanging some coins. But yeah, that was pretty evenly matched between the two of you, despite his significant difference in size. And afterwards, hold on. Afterwards, he shakes your hand and says, I'm surprised you were able to last that long. Your kind don't usually. Good show.
I nod to him in respect.
All right, Solas?
Yes.
Solas comments that it was even more interesting than I thought it would be.
You're
Good
interested in arm wrestling?
Well, I noted yesterday that these pecs are quite strong despite their size, so I wondered how well either of you would do against them.
Okay.
And was quite intrigued to see how it would play out.
I suppose it's a good way to study different races. Is that something you're going to write up for the Seekers?
Oh, I think Seekers have plenty of books about pecs and other races. It's while they are not common where I'm from, the dwarves do seem to have quite a lot of knowledge of them, and we do have some dwarven members.
Do you have any other challenges you'd like us to take part in?
Oh no, this was just for fun and intrigue.
And tug a ball.
A bit of a good sport before we leave.
Do you want
And
one
I
of us
think-
to race one of them?
And I think Ockar had quite fun with the challenge.
Anything
Yeah,
else
that's
that you
very
guys
good.
want to do at the tavern?
Well, Braxon thought he was catching up with his friends.
Well, yeah, Solas, of course, during the breakfast he chats with the crew and officers that are there.
Okay.
And since Solas invited Braxon and Ockar, Solas pays for the breakfast.
Thank you.
So that'll be 3 gold from you then, Solas.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you got any ideas on what sort of things we should collect as we go around? We're going to be looking for information for Leva. We should be looking for information for you as well.
Well, there is not specific information that I'm looking for, but I'm of course trying to gather as much of pretty much anything of interesting anything that raises my interest.
Probably
Yep.
should get a bit of extra stuff as well. We've got to meet that other fella at some point.
I don't think we should get ourselves too distracted while we're out here.
No, definitely not.
We need
But
to focus on getting home as soon as possible.
Definitely,
Try not to get sidetracked too much.
exactly.
Of course, but,
Otherwise, the crew might mutiny against us.
Yes.
Of course, but getting information is never a bad thing. Especially if the information, for example, provides to be something that prevents us from going into dangerous situations.
You know, something that might be helpful if we can work out what crystal sphere we're going to.
I don't think that's going to be quite possible, since it doesn't seem like anybody really knew that there was a portal even there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Margoth was.
I suppose that means.
I think no matter what we do, we're going to be going into the next crystal sphere blind.
Yeah, you're probably right. So we can't pick up any information ahead of time.
Because we don't even know which river it'll take us on or where that will take us.
There might be some people that know, but considering what Margoth told us, it's very unlikely that we encounter those people.
Yeah.
But in any case,
I feel like our best course of action is to take care of whatever business we have left here, and then leave without taking on much more, and just take care of work as we travel.
Well, any information gathering that I'm going to be doing is on the ports that we are stopping by.
That's fair enough.
So no need to do extra detours on my accord at the moment.
So, have you got enough supplies for making books, Solas?
I still have some supplies. I might buy some mushroom wood to make more paper out of it, but it's a bit more work to do that.
Okay.
You could always wait and see what the next sphere holds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, since I now finished the spell book for Leva, I'm thinking about focusing on some other things for now.
Oh, right. So you don't just make a load of paper while we're going along.
I have
paper.
enough paper for note making and such for now.
Okay. How about you, Ockar? Can you make armor that isn't metal while we're going along? Do you need any supplies for that? Yeah, don't have to, but do you need any supplies for anything?
I don't think I can make non-metal armors, can I?
You can't make leather, but I think you can use leather if you buy it in armor making.
I'd tell him, well, if you're willing to buy a supply of leather, I can make armor out of that, but I can't
Out,
make leather myself.
out of interest, could Ockar make,
Make garbage
for
and
example,
stuff.
Ankek blade if he had a Ankek shell?
Potentially, but my armor skill isn't very good.
He would also need a full facilities for that.
Why
Right.
did you
It-
say
they
your
could just
armor is
do-
not good? I mean, it doesn't
I
matter.
mean,
what
I
the
have a
is.
score of 11. There's
It doesn't
high
matter.
chance of me failing.
That's above average.
No, it's a -2, so that's a score of 9.
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
I could attempt it.
Yeah.
It would take a very long time, but it probably won't turn out well. I would probably need a reroll.
We've upgraded our crew armors, but what about their weapons situation?
Requires efficiency, doesn't it?
They have short swords and short bows.
We get rapiers, maybe.
Yeah, I think we had the option of getting crossbows for some of them.
Crossbows for the GIF is what you would want.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
if you're willing to supply me with leather, I can see what I can make out of it on our trip.
They won't have leather here.
So buying crossbows would be something that we might want to do for the GIF. Do dwarves already have crossbows?
Yes.
Yes, Lafdul, I understand that they probably won't have leather here. I'm talking about if we do end up in a place where we might get it.
Mm.
Oh no, they have leather here. They have Roth. They can make
Oh,
leather out
yeah,
of Roth.
I realised after I said as well.
Would
Don't know if they tan it though.
I don't think
Yeah.
leather would give us any advantage for any of our crew, 'cause I think we've already got them better than that. But you could maybe make. What about our spellcasters? Have they got any sort of armor? Can they wear leather?
No.
Well, yes, but then they can't cast.
Well, I could cast clerical spells,
Yes.
but not my wizard spells.
I mean, if the only kind of armor they could possibly wear is if Leva decided to. Oh wait, no, she can't multi-class because she's not level 1. So none of them can wear armor except for Lafdul with.
I'm wearing the
Because of
best
how
I
he
could
is.
wear.
Well, the priests can wear armor based on their class.
Solas can't. If
Well,
Solas
he
can wear
can.
blade.
He can. He just can't cast his wizard spells then.
Yeah, that's the point.
It would be funny seeing Solas in full
Also
plate.
with my strength, any armor would put me pretty much encumbered.
Just cast a strength spell on yourself. Fine.
I don't have full facilities on the ship.
Yeah.
So I can't
Okay.
make much more than just sewing together leather armor.
Right. So, do our spellcasters have their own? The clerics, do they have their own armor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I have
mean,
Elven Chainmail.
At this point, you're high enough level that most of the stuff that you're making, like if you're making armor, if you're making weapons, it is specifically to then further enchant it, kind of thing. There's little
I see.
point in making a normal sword for someone, a normal mace, a normal suit of armor for someone, because you guys all have magic stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, full plate's technically better than some on the armor, but takes incredibly long time to put it on.
I mean,
Okay.
I could try to make full plate, but like I said, I need full facilities, and it'll take months. Like
Yeah.
the last time I made full plate.
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
months.
I wouldn't want you to make that. I was just wondering if it was there was any advantage to you making armor while we were
You
traveling.
can make a shield, maybe.
And
armor-
some of these
or
some of these skills also kind of serve as knowledge stuff. Like
Yeah.
Ockar's going to be very knowledgeable coming across armor, and that's
Yeah.
that's going to be where his proficiency is going to shine for the rest of you guys.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the thing is that I don't have the facilities to actually make much of anything. The most helpful I can be with my armor when making stuff is making the sending materials for Leva.
Okay.
I think, as a side note, I think while you don't have facilities to make armor, I think you have chance if you have tools and material to fix armor that damage needs maintenance.
I mean, of course, I'm kind of the maintenance guy for all our armor anyway.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I think if crossbows would be upgrade for our gift, I think we should invest since we are in dangerous areas due to them being unknown and possibly hostile fears.
Yeah.
All right, you're probably not going to be able to get crossbows here.
Yeah, I think we have to go to the. Well, Mongrelman might have or Goblin port.
Can I
Have-
get gold thread here?
No.
Can I get raw gold here to be made into thread at some point?
Yes, but you're talking about like it's not something you are ever going to be able to do without facilities and a proficiency. So there's no point in buying the raw gold for that. Just go to a place that can do it.
Just
And buy
out of interest, that would be what proficiency?
I would
then.
probably say that you would need blacksmithing and weaving. Or maybe tailoring or
Quite-
something like that.
Sadly, I'm not a blacksmith.
So quite heavy proficiency investment.
Yeah.
To make yourself.
Yeah. I mean, so there's a lot of proficiencies that are good for using, but a lot of the standard trade proficiencies when you're an adventurer are going to be more about the knowledge that you get from them and how that can be used. Like, you know, if one of you were to take agriculture, it's not because you're planning to do farming. It's because either that's what was in your character background, or you want to have that knowledge so that if you encounter a situation where your knowledge helps you out as a party, then you can use it.
I mean, like, 75% of the reason I took armor was background stuff.
Yeah.
And the other 25% was, oh, hey, maybe I can try to make myself full play at some point.
Yeah. And you did.
Yeah, I just got something a bit better later on that wouldn't accidentally break on me on a crit.
So
Isn't it any 19 or 20?
Yeah, so keep that in mind. Like, when it comes to most materials and stuff like that, like, just buy it. Yeah, you're not always going to be around a place where you can buy it, but it's just you just buy it.
Sorry, my bad. I think I derailed people. I was just wondering if people had stuff they wanted to use for making.
Yeah, and that's fair, and there's nothing wrong with asking about that, but it's also just like, you know, you can just does anyone have anything that they want to get for the trip, you know, so that they're working on for the trip. And if someone thinks of something, they say something, and if they don't think of something, they don't say anything, kind of thing.
Sadly, the way Spelljammer works, I can't argue to have a full-on forge built into the ship.
Get the right kind of ship.
Otherwise, I would be making stuff all the time.
It is a little difficult, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, like, stone ships that can do that.
I reckon that
but most of my work would probably be done in the Phlogiston.
I reckon that Ockar could have a box of chainmail links, and if any people wearing chainmail get into a fight and get a hole in their chainmail, he could knit up the hole.
Yeah, but that's also, you know, that's covered by your when you get ship's provisions and stuff.
I think we just kind of assume I do that during downtime when we're moving between areas.
Yeah, it's like Lafdul has leather bussing on his armor that gets burnt to shreds, so it has to be replaced all the time.
But it's not like, you know, just like we're not keeping track of when you guys are going to the bathroom. There's a lot of stuff that just gets hand waved.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's at least one person in chat that wants to know where the head is.
No.
So does anyone? So let's Does
Can
anyone
we get
have
back to the
anything
game?
that they want to try and purchase here for
Yeah, I
their
want to
upcoming
buy
trip?
some uncut gems. I just want some for myself.
Okay. Are there any specific types that you want?
Uncut. Is there a single uncut sapphire or emerald?
Give me a second.
I know I need
make
to
a
buy
roll.
new. I just realized I need to buy
Even
new
a
lance.
ruby.
Sorry, what was that, Ockar?
I need to buy a new lance. I just realized I forgot about that a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
When did you lose that again?
Like when we fought the dragon.
Okay. Just deduct the money. You'd have been able to buy it at some point along here.
Okay.
Mushroom woodlands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they
I
are
mean,
meant
it's
to
all intents and
tournament
purposes
ones.
basic lands.
It's a heavy lance. I could probably find that somewhere.
Yeah. And if not, you probably could have gotten it commissioned, and you were in some places long enough that that's fine. It's just a lance. I'm not at all concerned about that. All right. Where's my list? There it is. I need to see the prices.
I mean, I'm not really after a specific. I did, I suppose, blue-colored gems, but I'm not really that fussed. What gems are gems? I'm just trying to make a profit, cutting them and selling them.
Yes, right. But you're like, it's not like you can buy a 10 gold piece uncut emerald kind of thing. You buy an uncut emerald, and it is 10% of the base price. All right, so actually, go ahead and give me a. Do you want an emerald and a sapphire?
No, just I don't think I've got that much money on me somehow.
Okay. Well then, what do you want, emerald or sapphire?
Sapphire.
All right, give me a D100.
Ooh, D100. I have no idea what's good or bad.
All right, they do not have one.
Oh.
You want to look for an emerald?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, another D100. Nope.
Well, shoot. Jade? No, they won't have jade. Jade's more like a surface mineral.
No, they might have jade.
Doesn't it grow in like tropical environments?
It doesn't grow.
Wow, I mean found. I don't know. Yeah, jade, I guess. Oh, they might have jade then.
Yeah, they have some jade. They have some good quality uncut jade for 10 gold pieces.
I will buy. Can I buy 5 lots?
Yeah.
50 gold.
Yeah. So you have 5 uncut jades.
I'll add it to you. Can't.
Okay.
Can I buy 6? Because it's one. How many party members we are? I'm going to try and make a figurine of each one. This is going to be a long-term go. So buy 6, one more.
I mean, yeah, you can buy 6.
This is more like I want to make a gift party. This is not like...
Yeah, the problem is that I think you need stone carving for that.
Yeah?
Because
anything I can
gem
do
cutting would be like making Cabicon cut and stuff like that. But if you're actually trying to carve something, like actual representations of things, you need stone carving for jade.
I'll just have 6. I'll think of something. I'll PM you front week.
Okay.
No, thank you.
So with that, are you guys ready to get going?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yep.
they pilot the eel ship out of dock, and you follow them. And then once you're free and clear of the city, oh, I should say you'd also be charged another 35 gold for the second day for docking. I've been very bad about actually charging you the daily amounts. So once you're well away from the city. They bring in their eel ship close together, close to yours, and you tie them off so that you're towing. And they get off their series helm and allow you to take over. All right.
Can we agree on some signals so that we can communicate with each other without having to go through Margoth?
They speak common.
They speak common. Okay, cool.
And they're close enough to you that you can either shout or just, like climb along the line.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
I mean, keep in mind that this is tow cable. This thing is like
thick gauge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 5-6 inches thick rope kind of thing, something like that.
I could probably tightrope walk, huh?
Yeah, probably pretty easily. All right, so we're just going to be starting a, like the day here kind of thing. So someone might want to have a ruler ready.
I'll make a note to the other players that I'm trying to scribe a scroll.
Okay. There was also talk about identifying stuff.
So, do we have to go back here first?
Here? Where's here?
Sorry. Back this way.
Yes. Yeah. That's the way out.
Yeah.
Changing my spells.
So go ahead and get.
You helping me with the ruler, Darkami?
Just a moment.
Start from the city itself, not the ship.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right, so you get underway and travel the first shift. And as a refresh, the people on first shift are Norfin, Ockar, and Solas.
Mm-hmm.
So are you guys doing anything during your shift?
Solas will be doing some research.
Are you starting a specific spell research or specific research?
It's more of a general research at the moment.
Okay. All right, so you can queue up another 12 hours.
Oh, just for Finn and Solas, I would have refreshed contact and power when we're out of the port.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's down to 6 out of 7 now.
All right, so second shift. Leva, Braxon, Lafdul, Nemariel is on the helm. Anything that you guys want to do?
I am scribing a scroll with a scribe spell memory.
All right, how long does that take you?
8 hours.
Okay, so...
Well, no, 8. Someone carry on. I'll see if I can find this. Can't remember
Okay.
how long.
Braxton wants to have a look at the ship's hull from various different angles, make sure that we haven't picked up any, any parasites or anything.
All right, give me a proficiency check.
Oh, it's a day per level of spell.
What
it's your
against
first
the,
level.
What am I checking it against?
Your
Is it
carpentry.
carpentry?
Yeah, carpentry.
Okay. The carpentry is 16.
Okay. You take a look over the hull during your shift, and you do not find anything unusual or anything like that. Obviously, it is all freshly painted. Much of it is freshly restored. with wood that you had. Okay, and Lafdul, you are scribing Cure Light Wounds.
Yeah. Trying
Okay.
to put another spell on the scroll.
Leva has decided to research improved invisibility.
Okay, how long is that going to take you?
It's 4th level. How long would that be?
8 weeks without
Whoa.
a scroll.
She doesn't have a scroll anymore. We used it.
Hmm.
Nah, we didn't use it, but...
You might have been able to get one at that other place we were just starting, the other port. Because they had up to 4th level spells.
They would not have had many scrolls available.
If you
Well, got to start at some point.
hang on, if you go up level, can you reattempt to learn a spell
Let me double check that.
from a book? Because she has gone up a level since she's
Let me double check.
attempted to learn a book.
One
Yes.
of our spell books that is in our library has improved invisibility.
Yeah, but you need a scroll to
She
speed
needs
up
to
the research
research
time.
it.
You
If
have
you're at your
full.
limit, or
No, she failed it because of Lafdul.
because I spoke.
Yes. You spooked the dice.
You
That's what
spooked
you
the
did.
dice. I love that. All right, let's see.
But wouldn't something like a spell book or a scroll help?
A scroll helps. Spellbooks do not.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Lafdul, you can go ahead and roll whatever you need.
You need to roll because if it's over a certain percentage, it's
Oh,
cursed.
that's right.
No,
That's
I
right.
don't
I
know.
do. All right, hold on a second.
It's
Yeah, then give me figure out what the number is.
yeah. I had it wrote down somewhere.
I don't think you can try and learn again when you gain a level. I'm not seeing a rule about that right now.
No, it would be the first time, and I think I asked about this with some other spell long time ago.
Yeah. There are some things that you can try to redo when you gain a level, but I don't know. I'll look it up in between sessions. You're far early enough in the start of it that if I see that is the case and I was misremembering, then it's not a big deal. You can take more 4th level spells, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, Lafdul, what do you need?
Hang on. 1 day per. I'm looking at the thing. 80 base plus 1% priest level, 88 minus 1 for the level, 87 plus 1% per level for the scribe spell. What's that lot? Hang on, I'm running out.
So 87 plus
87 for without the scribe. Scribe adds 1% per. Because you wanted to change it because it was too good. So you 1% per level of the priest.
Okay. So plus another 8.
Yeah.
So 95.
Basically the cap.
Okay. All right. So you spend your day getting that scribed onto that scroll, and it looks like it took, as far as you know.
I will just double check. So I'm just reading something.
Mm-hmm.
It might be longer than a day.
I think it's 1 day per spell level.
Yeah, I've got on my notes. 1 day per spell level to scribe onto the scroll. 1 week of uninterrupted work for a week to scroll. Why have I wrote that on there?
For a protection scroll.
Oh. I will amend that for protection scroll.
Okay.
I do wonder, how does like enchanting arms and armor work in this system?
You gather the materials, you have the spells, and then you begin the process, and the process can take a while. Takes weeks.
If you're a priest, you have to pray.
You still have to do some spell casting and stuff like that, and have appropriate
What's the
materials.
What spells do the priests have? Because priests don't have enchanting item.
No, it's more along the lines of you have to have relevant spells related to the item if it mimics spells.
Would enchanting
Oh.
a suit of armor make it hard to break it?
You could definitely strengthen them, yeah. I mean, any sort of magic item gains a saving throw bonus. An item
Yeah,
saving
you
throw
can
bonus.
only enchant stuff that's of a very good quality, though.
So I doubt
Yeah, but
Don't
that's
you?
also relative, because if you lived in a Stone Age society with spellcasters, you could still enchant a stone axe, kind of thing.
like I was just wondering if I'd be able to get like Leva or Solas to work with me on trying to enchant that full plate I made before.
You could. You could also try improving equipment that you have already, but keep in mind that that there is a chance of failure, so they could ruin
Enchantment.
enchantments.
Old.
Mhm.
Can
Well-
we retcon a bit that I started a spell research after all?
This day
Yeah.
on your shift, sure.
I started researching Wolffire.
Okay.
4th level.
Yeah,
From a scroll, or
Yeah.
I guess-
Hold on. Ockar, yeah.
yeah. I will ask Solas if he'd like to try to help me figure out how to enchant the that old set of full plate I made before to see if we can make it magical.
Well, Solas would love to help, but he doesn't know the spells to enchant.
Leva's the
Enchant,
only one that's even remotely closest, because she's got a scroll of permanency, and she would have to learn the enchant the item spell, which is 6th level, which is close to getting.
But once I learn the necessary spells, I would love to help you enchant this armor.
Cool.
Now there was some talk about identifying stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, Solas doesn't have identify memorized.
Okay.
I asked this a couple of days ago. Well, when we were in the port.
Yeah.
Traveling for a day.
Right.
Mm.
But you
Do
can't
you
you can't identify and do spell research at the same time.
Alright,
So, I just want to check to see if to make sure that you guys are okay with that. Doing the spell research.
Well, Leva can do identify.
I mean, if you ever want to start doing spell research, that means we're never going to be able to identify items while you're doing that.
Yeah, feel
So
free.
we got items to
Let's-
identify now before you start doing research.
Well, no. So I would let you take a short break on the spell research, like spend a day doing identification kind of thing instead of the spell research. I'm not that picky about it, but you wouldn't be able to do like 5 days of identification and break up your spell research that way.
I have a question, Old.
Yep.
Do you want me to roll a research proficiency at the start of the spell research or at the end of it?
It would always be at the end, I believe.
Okay. Research proficiency does say that it. I only require half the amount of time.
Is that for general research?
I think I
Spell
would
research?
shave off. I think rather than having the time, I think I would just shave off like a day per spell level or something like that. Half is already what you already get
It's like
that
my
when you use
scribe
a scroll.
spell.
That's what you already get when you have a scroll. I don't want to. I do not want to have a like kind of a easy way for you to get around that element as well. So
Basically
it would just shave off the time.
Basically, what successful research proficiency gives is +5 bonus on the roll when researching new spell, and only require 1/2 the usual amount of time to perform spell research or determine a process necessary to manufacture a particle magical item.
Yeah, I'm just going to shave off the time as opposed to have it.
Okay. So
Yeah,
Wall of
several-
Fire, it's 4th level spell.
So 8 weeks.
For
And I do have a scroll for it.
Okay, so 4 weeks.
4 weeks
and you
minus
do
4
also need
days.
do need to spend money on researching as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the research proficiency doesn't affect the
Yeah.
cost.
All right, so that's what the two of you are starting on.
Mm-hmm.
That is fine.
Does the scroll reduce the cost of the spell research?
Yes, the scroll reduces the cost as well. It halves the cost.
Okay.
so it's a quarter cost for you.
No, it's not a quarter cost.
Oh.
Even by the book, the research proficiency doesn't reduce the cost.
Oh, I thought it did.
It would
It only reduces
like
the...
with the two of them, it would quarter the time, and I find that way too powerful for a proficiency to do. So what I will do, actually, yeah, you should do the research proficiency first because that will determine the time.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll get an extra 5% to your check, and it's 4 days less, and then halved that for having the scroll.
So...
See, because that's the other thing. You're
7.
getting a 5% bonus to your chance to learn it. That's already really powerful.
Yeah, so it's 7 weeks and 3 days halved.
Yeah.
So...
Convert it into days, then.
Yeah.
All right. So that is what Leva and Solas will be doing in that time. And let's see. Finn, did you have any particular things that you wanted to do on the trip?
Nothing in particular.
Okay. So, like, probably checking over the plants and everything like that. Spending time just feeling close to nature kind of thing.
I have this plant that smells like bread. I've completely forgotten about this thing for like a while.
Mm-hmm.
Does it ever smell like bread? Since I bought it from the merchants in Corinne.
Yeah, it still smells like bread.
Still, it's smelled like bread for like a month, and I'm just wondering, do you want to try your luck at trying to propagate that if you want to get a copy of it? I'd say that to Finn. It's something for you to do. So.
Yeah, I could try, I guess.
All right.
It's a unique plant.
Do you have any more information about it besides it smelling like bread? Because I don't. I mean, I remember it,
No,
but I don't remember
I
what the
forget
details were.
I don't think there were. It's just that once a month it would, out of a year, it would smell like bread.
Oh. Then
That's
no,
why
it
I was
doesn't.
asking.
Then no, it doesn't smell like bread anymore.
At some point, I don't know when it does, but it's just like once a month in a year.
Okay. All right.
When it pollinates or something.
Yeah. So when it's blooming.
Yeah.
Hang on, you've got a bread tree.
No,
I've got a tree that smells like
it's not a tree. It's a plant.
plants. It's a unique plant. Smells nice if you like bread. Lafdul does.
What kind of bread?
I have no idea.
It's just like a freshly
Like a
baked
yeasty
loaf
smell, I guess.
of bread.
Yeah,
It's like a
but,
fresh bread.
wheat bread or rye bread or...
I've only had rye bread like a couple of times in my life.
I can't
think-
even
I
recall
think-
that they smell particularly different. But
They
It's
do.
like a
whatever.
dry
That is up. That is up for Lafdul can decide that. I don't particularly care. He can have it. He can have it smell like a normal bread that he wants it to smell like. I don't particularly care.
I think you're missing out on the opportunity to have this bread plant sponsored by
Oh,
bread
I
company.
suppose there might be some slight retcon because that thing that was flying around my room, that was a plant in my room that could have been destroyed.
I'm fine right now. I don't
Uh,
I don't need to go back and retcon things like that. All right. So that day comes to a close, and you can go ahead and queue up another day travel.
So, where are we trying to head to at the moment?
Back into the big cavern with the.
Sorry, can you do that again, please, Solas?
Don't you see the?
No, I did, but it's gone. I had
oh, you don't.
when I went to move the ship, there was a dice sitting there.
Yeah, leave the ruler on until the movement actually
I
happens.
had it on.
No, I started moving it, but then there was a die, and the die was exactly where the ruler was.
I didn't let go of the ruler at any point.
All right. I guess
Just
it
do it
doesn't.
for
I
me.
guess it doesn't persist for everyone else then.
Give me to find out.
So, Ockar, you're heading back to the cavern with the kobold port. That's where the Zorn realm is located. It's in that area.
Oh,
It's 2-week trip.
Yeah, it's quite a while.
All right. So your travel continues to be uneventful as you're traveling through this large cavern with the fire body. You know that you're going to be missing that when it gets to be the darkness of the other caverns again. But so far, your trip is uneventful.
Does Margoth know the way?
Yeah, she can guide you easily.
Going
She
left or
been
right?
there.
You're going back east.
Right, I see.
All right. So the second shift of your second day of travel comes to a close.
I will attempt to scribe the last. I think it's my last one. My ingredients, cure light means.
Okay. Those are all the ingredients that you have left.
No, I've actually got one more. I've got 2 more scribings I can attempt.
Okay.
So I had 5 in total. And I will cast scribe again.
Okay. As far as you know, that is successful.
And I've just got one more.
And it does look like the scroll is not full yet.
Oh, I can put one more on there.
Well,
Wow, I've only got one more
Yeah.
thing, so.
but you're not
At that
sure.
point.
You're not sure if that will fill it up or if you'll still have space on it. Now,
It just magically fills up, so to speak.
What it is that the length varies in when you're creating them.
Oh, so it magically forms to fill up a space. It's not like you're writing letters. Or
You're not
sacred
writing
symbol.
letters. No, you're writing symbology essentially.
Oh, yeah.
It's symbols, formula. It's magical script, and it can vary. Each of these spells can be a different length, even though it's you're scrying it and you're doing it. It's basically like there's an element of stream of consciousness as you're working on it.
Even if you are scribing the same spell, it might be different lengths.
Yeah, which is why you
Oh,
can never
actually-
know. Which is why you can never know how many a scroll can hold.
I wanted to. Can I have scribed that on a different scroll? Because there was a point that I wanted to start scribing on different scrolls. Only the last one.
Not
So
this
3
one
on
that
one
you
and
just
2
did.
on-
Not this one that you
Oh,
just did.
So I got 4 on this one then.
Yeah.
If I'm all in on this, I'm also going all in. So.
You're going to be making scrolls for the helmsman or something?
I was
Good,
thinking about
that's-
putting it on other scrolls, but now that I've got 4 and 1, I'm just going all in. So there's no point anymore. I was going to do 3 and 2, but yeah.
So one other thing is the end of this day also marks the end of a pay period for your crew, so you do need to pay them at this point.
just like Dungeon Keeper.
get the money and the Huati are on now.
Gotta pay them, or else they're gonna try to overthrow us.
All right, so that is gonna wrap that up. I think that we're going to call it a session here.
So did we move just then?
No, you're at the end of the. That's the end of a day.
Okay.
So 2 days of travel.
Yeah, that's 2 days of travel.
Yeah. 2 days in the contact umpire. Actually, no, I would have
2
cast
days of-
contact umpire when we arrived at port, so it would have been 3 days.
Okay.
Counting off. So it's 4 out of 7.
2 days of spell research done.
All right. Let's see. How much XP are you guys getting?
Probably not much. We didn't do any fighting.
I didn't want to segue the session more than I did, but there was a thought to cast Snare outside Solas' room. I'll
You
just save it for every...
you should remember that other people are pranking you as well. Like
Yeah, no,
Finn
I'd
with,
like it. It's...
Finn with being crow in your room.
Yeah, if only he was there when it happened.
All right, so Braxon, Ockar, and Leva, that's 1,000 XP.
Sorry, Braxon, you're not leveling up anytime soon again.
No.
And
next
I need
year.
to see what you get for scribing scrolls. Give me a second, Lafdul.
Wasn't it like 100 XP per level skull? So it wasn't much. Can't remember.
Well, that's why I need to go look it up. Where is my document?
Do I get XP for encouraging other people to cause mischief?
Hold on, jeez.
I was just curious.
Just,
that was all.
hold on, hold your horses.
Give me all the XP, damn it.
Okay.
Are you
Yeah,
friends?
all right. So that is that. All right. Finn and Solas. That is 1,100 XP.
Mm-hmm.
Lafdul 1,000 XP plus 2,200 for your priest.
Ooh.
Trying to
1,000
threaten
for
the
Vaith,
GM
2,200 for the...
Lafdul?
What?
What was that, Ockar?
I said, were you trying to threaten the GM there?
Fro?
Threaten.
Oh, I was just being funny.
All right. No one going up a level.
Not quite yet.
No, not quite yet.
No, I need another 100,000.
Mm. That's a little ways off.
294,000.
It's just a little ways off.
I think Finn's going to
Yeah,
be
a
next
few
closest.
sessions.
All right, so I want to thank you guys for playing. When we come back next week, the party will be continuing their journey. Got about 2 weeks worth of travel to get to the Zorn kingdom, delivering these pecs for some trade negotiations.
Yeah.
And you will have to return back to their city to get the reward, by the way.
Oh, so we have to go back anyway.
Yeah.
Ah, so if only we made Leva memorize the location. Teleport back.
It is very difficult to teleport to a place you've never seen.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's
very
what I know,
difficult
it's
to
like
teleport an
studying.
entire ship.
Yeah, hang on.
No,
So
no,
that-
just her with the chest.
I
and come
mean,
back.
we were there over a day.
So you should have asked how heavy is the chest instead of wanting to look at it first to see what stones are in it, what gems are in it.
Yeah, but you just reduce the chest.
Yeah, but it's only
Hang
like
on a minute.
it's only going to be like an extra 4 or 5 days to do that.
So hang on a minute. You want Lever to teleport back, pick up a chest, teleport back to us.
Yes, that's what he
Saves
wants.
like several days of travel. Because
Yeah.
it's the power our characters have.
How much are you
It's
going to
because
pay her?
she's so strong. Because she's so strong and can carry the whole chest on her own. You see.
How much are you going to pay her to do this?
It saves the
Well,
company stuff. It's not just.
This is
you should.
when this is
Nobody
when
said.
Ebha. Go on.
Nobody said that Leva has to give the chest to Lafdul.
Yeah, well, I
You're
was
going
going
to
to say
sell uncut gems that you are going to sell at 10% their value.
She can just sell it. I mean, even if it's 10% of their value, if it's money that she didn't have before, then it's a win all around.
Oh, speaking of Lenelius, did he actually learn spells? Has he started?
He's started to copy some spells and get his spellbook filled back up.
And he managed to learn every single one, or did he actually miss out on a
Spells
few?
already know.
Yeah, he's right now he's just getting the spells that he knows back into his spellbook.
Okay.
And he doesn't know anything unusual or rare, so it's
He must be looking at the library and all the spell books and
maybe for later, but he's also a fairly no-nonsense spellcaster.
Mage.
He definitely looks at his magical power as a tool for the elven peoples, as opposed to a tool for the elven navy specifically, a weapon that in his arsenal. So he is not the kind of person to spend a lot of time researching. If he fails to learn something, it's like, okay, I'll get another one. There's other spells out there. So, I want to thank you guys for playing. I want to thank everyone out there for watching. Thank you for the raids and the bits and everything like that. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. We will be back next week. See you then, everyone.
Thanks for the
guys.
sub, Hannibal. See you
Take
next
care,
week.
everyone.